Here's the tea on Loki. So we've finally reached the end of the Loki series. Oh, is it the end? That's the question, and I'll get into that later. But what I just had the season finale or series finale of Loki, and I've got to say it's not what I expected. What I really don't understand is the romance between Loki and Sylvie. Like, they are just another form of each other. I mean, it is a very Loki thing to be in love with himself, because Loki's full of himself all the time and all that, but I'm just like, it just feels like the same kind of rubbish plot line that like when Steve went back to Peggy. That's rubbish it was just not a good idea. I don't know why they came up with that. It's just weird. He's like literally dating himself, like he's literally dating himself but in a female form. Does that not sit right with anyone else? Another thing that bothered me was that there was no post-credit scene. Obviously we had the thing saying Loki will be back in season 2. I think most already knew that there was going to be a season 2. But I feel like just the stamp, they could have just done a bit of a better announcement kind of thing. Like it could have been like Sylvie like escaping where she was after she killed Kang. Okay, but what I will say is the cinematography in Loki, my god, I love it. If you haven't watched Black Widow, I'm not going to ruin it, don't worry. But Black Widow had at the very start, that was one of my favourite openings ever to film. I loved it so much. And just I feel like Loki and the start of Black Widow at the start of like Marvel being really like cinematically beautiful, which I haven't really done before. I did mention this in my Black Widow review. If you want to watch it, I'll link it here. But like like all the cinematography, the colour grading, the lighting, the shots, like it was just I'm just obsessed with the colour grading. I do have a question though, because I saw a lot of theories about this. Loki and Sylvie kept breaking the fourth wall, and we all thought it was going to be linked to like who was like the person behind the TV and all that, but we still don't know why they were looking at the camera. Obviously that's a huge mistake, they wouldn't have left that in because it's quite easy to pick up on. So I'm just annoyed that we didn't really get shown that, unless the Smith forgot about it or we're going to see it in season 2. But it just bugs us that we don't know why they were breaking the fourth wall so much. Obviously we had Kang the Conqueror, who I didn't know a lot about, but I've seen everyone freaking out about him, and then I found out that he's one of the, like the biggest, like one of the main 3 antagonists in the like Avengers villain kind of esque thing. So I feel like that could be quite interesting. They did leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, like how's Loki gonna escape that other dimension, because obviously Mobius didn't know who he was, and then because like obviously the statue was of Kang as well, so he's not in the right dimension kind of thing, and they were like gonna arrest him or hold him or something. Like how's he gonna get out of that? And then I think the character growth for Loki is quite interesting. He's becoming more heroic, which I feel like we could see him, you know, maybe it could be part of the new Avengers. Don't hold me to that, but he's becoming more and more heroic. Like obviously he was the evil little bugger at the start of Marvel, but now he's wanting like the best for people kind of thing, and he's just changed. I think the character growth is quite interesting. Quite obvious that we will be getting the multiverse of Spider-Man. There's literally no way Marvel can't do that now. With Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, you never know. Maybe Miles Morales might pop in as well, because what was his film about? The multiverse. I had to mention this. So Tom Hiddleston mentioned that he was filming in the Loki suit on his birthday, but Loki wrapped before his birthday, like a while before his birthday, so it wouldn't be in reshoots or anything. And his birthday, he mentioned that his birthday this year, they wrapped last year, which means that's why I was on about him maybe being in like future films or maybe part of the Avengers kind of thing, because it's way too early for them to be filming for the second season. But I do think a lot more should have happened in this episode. Like, all of the other episodes are so perfectly written, and the only like exciting thing is at the very end. Like, I feel like we're watching them talk for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and nothing really that exciting happened. Like, obviously, like, we needed them to have that kind of conversation, but I feel like it was so long, and like all the other episodes have interesting things in them to keep you engaged. This episode just wasn't that engaging. I feel like they could have wrote it a bit better, or just included something cool, or I don't know, I just feel like felt like there was something missing out of this episode, which is quite sad, because all the other episodes are brilliant, and the finale, it was going to be so good. And I feel like I'm one of the only ones of this opinion, but I just feel like this episode just wasn't as good as others. I also feel like the ending was a bit rushed as well. Like, they waited so long and then just included so much information in it, when they could have made it a bit longer and made the show a bit more interesting. I feel like they just rushed it way too much at the end. And just for the overall series, I'm very happy at the storyline for Loki. I'm just happy Loki's getting the recognition he deserves. He's obviously a fan favourite. He's like my favourite character. I'm just happy about this, that he's going to obviously be returning for a few roles. I'm just happy about Tom Hiddleston, because he's just a great guy and he just deserves so much recognition. But I will say that I didn't like Sylvie at the start. I just feel like she didn't really fit. I liked her more towards the end, especially in like the last few episodes, but at the start I just did not like her at all, which it sucked a bit, but yeah, I just didn't like Sylvie. I feel like she just wasn't written very well. So obviously Marvel are introducing new versions of like the Avengers, like Kate Bishop is new kind of Hawkeye, Yelena is a new kind of Black Widow. Obviously that's not a spoiler because it's very obvious they were doing that. I just feel like it could be very interesting to see where they go ahead with this. So many theories going about what could happen in the future, what's going to happen with Wanda kind of thing. Yeah, I just feel like the future of the MCU could be very interesting, like very interesting. I'm liking where they're going with it as well. What I was thinking was, you know how like Doctor Strange is the multiverse of madness? I was thinking that maybe we'll see different versions of all the characters, because what I was thinking what the multiverse of madness would be like, see how Civil War was Captain America's solo film, but it was more like an Avengers film. I feel like multiverse of madness could be like that, because what else is it going to be like? It's just going to be like different characters like loads of different time, and like them trying to fight them, and then obviously Kang the Conqueror is going to be the antagonist in most of the films, and he's definitely going to return in a lot of them. Maybe just like bits and bobs here and there, or like just mentioned a little bit, but obviously he's going to be one of the main villains, because there are different versions of all the characters, which I feel like that could be quite interesting. So my rating for this episode would be a 7. It just really wasn't that great, which really sucks because I love Loki. The whole series is brilliant, but for the overall series I would give this a 9 or 9.5, and the only reason that's not a 10 is because that last episode, and it's just really let me down. There was just something missing. Like, there just should have been something else. There shouldn't have just been one huge huge exciting thing right at the very end. There should have been something a little bit more exciting in the middle or at the start. Overall, I think the Loki series is brilliant. Obviously we're getting a season 2, which I'm very excited about, and it'd be quite interesting to see when season 2 will take place, because obviously a lot's going to happen in between the two, like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all of that. It's like, where's season 2 going to take place? Where's the characters going to be? Is it going to be like a follow-on from season 1 or follow-on from the future films kind of thing? I don't know. So that's my review for Loki. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me about the last episode, or do you think it was a good episode? It's a good episode, but you know what I mean. Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. I will be doing more reviews and posting more regularly now, and yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.